I am joined now by this month's Deputy Mayor of Saskatoon, and that is Ward 5 City Councillor Randy Donauer. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jeremy. Thanks for having me this morning.
Thank you for coming on, and I'm glad it's you this month because you've got a lot of things kind of on your plate right now, on your mind. Let's start with one thing that you did bring up, an idea to award snow clearing contracts based on performance instead of whoever offers the lowest price, which is what I believe the criteria was before. So where did this come from?
Well, over the past few years, I've been getting, I think, an inordinate amount of complaints about snow clearing on our priority streets in the north end. The city's broken up into quadrants, and some of those quadrants are done by city crews and some of them are done by contractors. I don't have a problem with either of those. But what I found is I got a new contractor, and I have been getting quite a bit of complaints, and there were service issues that we were experiencing in the north end of Saskatoon. And I asked for those to be addressed. They kind of weren't, and then I found out nothing had really changed for this year. And so when City Hall administration doesn't make a change, then council, I think, needs to step in. So what I asked was that we actually monitor the performance of the contractors, including our crews, and then keep a record of that, help them to improve, but then use that in future procurements. So like for some things at the city, it's low bid. You know, if we're buying pens, lowest cost pen and you get the for some of them we have other criteria about your performance, the quality, that sort of stuff. I want to do that with our contract work too, so that we're really pushing our contractors to become excellent in their service.
Okay, yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with that. We'll see how that goes for the remainder of this winter and then into next season. Next thing up is Millar Avenue. There has been a lot of talk about development and changing things and I guess revitalization or something like that. Millar Avenue has been a focus. Tell me what's going on there.
So there's two projects that involve Millar Avenue. One is to add active transportation, which is multi-use pathways on both sides of Millar Avenue, right from 43rd Street, or basically Circle Drive, all the way up to Marquis. The other one is to revamp the intersection at Millar Avenue and 51st. Both of them are causing problems for the business owners nearby. You know, both of them, you know, I think there's a need for them. The multi-use pathways actually had businesses asking for that. But when the plan came out, it's going to wipe out something like a couple hundred trees and 50 or 60 parking spaces in a lot of these businesses. And they're in an industrial area. And a lot of people, you know, doing business in industrial area have a pickup truck and they need a place to park. So we didn't really hit the mark on that one. The intersection at 51st and Marquis is one of the busiest, 51st and Millar is one of the busiest intersections in the city. It's always backed up. They want to revamp it and make it more lanes, and so there's more flow through, really reconstruct it. The problem is it really would have a detrimental effect on some of the businesses there because they're going to eliminate left turns and put medians. So getting into that Tim Hortons or getting into that McDonald's, they're going to lose a lot of their accessibility to the driving traffic. Okay,
so what's the status of this then? Is it just, okay, out the window, or what? What goes on now?
No, so what we did is, you know, we hired a consultant to do a report on both of these, and the consultant really didn't engage the business community and deal with their concerns. So what I did is I asked council to send this back to the administration and say, okay, we've got engineering drawings. That's great, but my phone lit up. I want you to now go talk to all these businesses, hear what their concerns are, you know, give me a summary of their concerns and then see what we can do to address them. Some of them I think we can address, some of them we might not be able to, but at least let's put some work into that. And I think most of the business community, that's all they're asking for. They pay a lot of taxes too, and they want to be heard.
Okay, yeah, listening to the people that your decisions affect. What a novel concept.
Yeah, it would be a good idea.
All right, Randy Donauer, thank you so much for a few minutes this morning.
Anytime, Jeremy. Thank you very much.